Hey guys, my name is Jesper Nissen and this is the second video in my onpage SEO series. And in this video I'm going to show you how to find entities using Google. So as we talked about before many times on this channel, entities are extremely important for rankings. So how do you find the entities that are relevant to your content? It's actually very easy, and there are two ways that you can use Google to do this. So let's hop over to Google. So let's say that you have a website, a local website called Plumber Chicago. And let me go down to page 2, and let me this is just an example website. I don't have any affiliation with the guys that I'm clicking on. Let's say this guy here. Okay, so this guy, John's Plumbing, he wants to rank for plumbing in Chicago, plumbing services for the Chicago, Illinois area. Okay, so the question is, how do we know what Google seems to think are the most important entities for this content, for this page? So we can see here that John's Plumbing is a full-service plumbing contractor, and he specializes in new construction, remodeling, and maintenance of high-rises. And then blah, 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 sanitary pipe camera. Okay, so what I would think is that plumbing is, of course, an important entity. So plumbing. And this is the page in Wikipedia about plumbing. But plumbing Chicago, if that's what he wants to rank for, that's what I search for. If plumbing Chicago is his keyword, then how do we know? Well, it's extremely simple. We do this. We search for plumber Chicago, Wikipedia. And then we are actually shown by Google what Google seems to think are the most relevant entities for that search term. So it's a little bit surprising that plumbing is not, it's not so surprising because I searched for plumber and not plumbing. But Google seems to think that Chicago Faucet is the most relevant, but I think that that's a company, so let's just skip that. So plumber is the most important. And then file Chicago, I don't know what that looks like a image, we'll just skip that. Category plumbing, let's see what that is. It's just a category page, let's skip that also. History, let's skip that. Trap plumbing, yeah, that's actually a good one. So now we have two entities. We have plumber, and then we have trap plumbing, and then we have that one. Oh, that's not Wikipedia. We can go down to page 2 and search more. But we can actually just start over because apparently what we have now recognized is that Google seems to understand that plumber and trap plumbing are the two most relevant entities. Why this is important? Well, it's important because
9:00 p.m.
you need to insert as many entities, relevant entities as possible in the content. So in this case, let's just check up here. No, that's not the one. There's one here. So let's see his headings. So his H1 says plumbing services for the Chicago, Illinois area. So plumbing is an entity. I would definitely try to incorporate plumber also. Now it's going to be a long H1, but plumbing services, plumber something. Because Google just told us that plumber is the most important, right? So what I would do next is I would search for plumbing Chicago, because I will then see different entities, and of course, not surprising, plumbing is there, plumber is there. Chicago area water quality, that's actually a good one. So we could, of course not in the H1, but we could in the subheaders somewhere up here, we could incorporate this specific entity. That's a good entity. Let's see down here. Chicago Avenue Plumbing Station, also not bad. You get the picture. So that's method 1. So simply search for your keyword, append Wikipedia, And then what I'm doing is I'm using variations of the keyword to find more entities. So plumber Chicago, plumbing Chicago, plumbing services Chicago, Wikipedia, for example. Let's see if I get more. Chicago Avenue plumbing station, we had that before also. You get the picture. All right. So the next method is clicking on images here. So let me just go back here and search for plumbing. So then I'll remove Wikipedia and then I'll search for plumber Chicago. And then I click on the images. So for many search terms, and we see that's for this search term plumber Chicago, Google is actually showing you related searches. You could also actually call these related searches entities because they are entities. What is an entity? Well, the strict definition is that it could be a person, place, or thing. But an entity in the understanding of how a search engine works is that an entity is a keyword in a knowledge graph database. And what's different from a knowledge graph database to a normal database that just has a row of keywords, a list of keywords, is that in the knowledge graph database, all of the keywords are connected and are used to give each other meaning. So when I search for plumber Chicago, I see that Google understands that Scottish plumber, plumbers union local 130 UA, truck, plumbing services, and so on and so forth are all related search terms, and as such they are a type of entities. So they can be looked as a type of entities. And furthermore, so now we have plumber Chicago, then we have plumbing services. So if I click on plumbing services, I go one level deeper. Plumbing repairs, truck, drain plumbing, commercial plumbing, pipe repair. So you get all of these related keywords that's actually super duper relevant to put into your content. So that's the second method of how to use Google to find relevant entities. So the first method using Wikipedia will of course deliver a lot of entities that are defined inside of Wikipedia, and this second method will deliver a lot of relevant keywords that you can use throughout your content. And the first method, let's see here, plumber Chicago Wikipedia, that's actually included. We actually automated that into Schema Writer when we are running these Schema Writer reports. I'll show you that in upcoming videos. So yeah, I hope you could use this. And in the next video, I'm going to show you a couple of methods of how you can use Schema Writer to find relevant entities. Take care, guys.